He can cook a shoe and it'll taste delicious. You don't even have to bring your own, he says. And that's neat. It's Tom White. This is Teaching to the Test Pattern.
Hey, buddy, welcome to Teaching to the Test Pattern. That's right. I'm Tom White, your host, and today, very, very special episode. It's another one of my rants, lessons, ideas, shares, dumps, whatever you want to call it. And it's how my program, in its second year of existence, during a pandemic, made more money than my school system's budget gave me last year, this past school year. It's how I built a plan that during this pandemic, my program was in at least 2 newspapers twice. Not to mention tons and tons of social media love, not to mention the intangible of just awareness in the community. This is a very special episode. If you want your program, here's my philosophy. Here's what I want my program to be. I want to take over the world. Period. I want to pinky and brain my program all the way to the top. Now, I'm not going to do it winning awards. Don't care about that. Not going to do it by making lots of money. Don't care about that. I'm going to do it with influence. And we're going to talk about Main Street money today. Very, very important concept. If you're going to look, if teaching is a job for you, cool. Just go listen to one of my interviews. Go listen. Go shoot something. Go film something. Go whatever. If you are passionate about what you do, listen to the rest of this, because I'm going to show you the secret on how you do these things and how, no matter where you are, big city, small town, only school within 100, wherever you are, you can do these things and make a huge, huge impact on your community and on the lives of your students. You can change kids' lives if you take some of these approaches. So definitely, if that's what you want to do, stay tuned. If not, hey man, love you. Have a good day. Speaking of love Amatrace, AMITRACE.com. They are the sponsor of Teaching to the Test Pattern. I've talked about them 100 times. One of the things that I do want to say that goes that's under the radar that people don't know about, when you buy something from Amatrace and they install it, they've already installed it before you get it. Oh yeah, they've taken everything out of the box. They've connected everything. They've tested it. They have put it through its paces. They've set it up. They've got it ready so that when they come onto your campus, they start putting it in places. They run the cables and everything is going to work because it worked before they left the shop. You're not going to get that from an online store. You're not going to get training from an online store. You're not going to get either of that from a lot of places. AMITRACE.com. They work stupid hard for you, period. They do a lot of things behind the scenes that you'll never know about when you use them for your equipment purchases. Go check them out, AMITRACE.com.
Teaching to the Test Pattern.
All right, let's dive into Main Street money, and let's go ahead and put it out there. I'm not talking dollars. I'm talking influence. Influence is more powerful than money because influence moves money. I don't know. I may have read that somewhere, but that's my philosophy. That is how I work in my classroom. Influence is more powerful than money because influence moves money. Money changes influence, yes, but it doesn't move it. Influence moves it. So if you're looking to build a program, my goal for the program in terms of finances is to be self-sufficient. My goal is that when my CTAE director sits down in July to determine who gets what cut of the money, he or she can call me and go, hey, do you need money? And I can say, no. How cool would that be? Because if I can say no to that, that means that I've built a program that is generating enough money to where some of the chains are unbound. If I build a program where I've got enough in the account to where if a TriCaster dies, I don't have to go to the school board and beg for $10,000. Okay, let's do it. So how do you do that? How do you make that Main Street money? How do you make that influence? It's not easy. I'm going to go ahead and tell you there's no shortcut. You're going to hear that throughout. You're going to have to stay the course. I've had a very successful teaching career. I really have. I've been in it about 10 years. I came out of radio, and I think that a part of my teaching success is directly related to my radio success, in that radio prepares you for things that nothing else can do. You think about the movie Scarface, there's nothing you can do that Castro hasn't already. That's the way I felt about radio when I left. I was like, well, there's nothing that education can do. And I got into education simply to try to figure out what I wanted to do when I grew up. So little did I know it'd be education. But here are the keys to my success as a teacher and how I have built a program that allows me to have that Main Street money. I love what I do. I really do. Like, I love just going into my classroom and doing work, whether it's by myself or with my kids, because I know that what I'm doing matters. Love what you do. Plan what you're going to do. Execute it. Love your students. Look, that's hard to do sometimes. It really is. You also have to love yourself, though. Don't sacrifice your beliefs and your convictions and your credibility and really your certificate and your career. Love yourself. Take care of yourself. Go to work out. Don't necessarily go to the gym if that's not for you. Walk around the neighborhood. Walk around the school. Go see the teacher on the far side of the building. That's something I'm going to try to do more this year. We've got a computer science teacher who lives he's in his own little world. I'm going to go visit him more often. If for no other reason, because it makes him uncomfortable when he has guests. So that's step one. Love what you do. Love everything about it. Love your plan. Love what you get to do. Love your students and love yourself. Number two is treat everyone nicely. That's tough. Everybody, like, video production, as you know, especially the education world, is very underappreciated. What we do is magic. People don't understand what it takes. They don't understand that sometimes a 1-minute video can take 3 times as long as a 10-minute video. They don't understand that. But you got to have patience. You got to treat everyone nicely. Number 3 is a big deal, and it will work. And you'll see how this plays out later. Manage up. It's easy to manage down. It's easy to tell people what to do. It's easy to tell your colleagues what you've done. Manage up. The good and the bad. Anytime our superintendent was coming in the building to film, I would stop by my principal's office or text her or email and go, hey, superintendent's on the way. Didn't have to, but that's her boss. And he's not in the building every day, or may not be in the building every day, so make sure that they're aware of those things. Talk about kids that are winning. Talk about kids that are losing. Because when I first started at my current school, my first semester, I don't know who I made mad, but I had a class that was not very good. Just put it that way. I'm going to say they were not a very good group of people. I went to my principal and I said, I think I'm pretty good at teaching, but I'm struggling with this one. And she pulled up my roster and she just laughed. She said, I don't know who you made mad. But she gave me some insight on several of them, and it really kind of turned the tide. She told me, who was having trouble at home, those things. So make sure you manage up, because your managers know things that you may not, and they may be able to let you in on those. Number 4, take care of those who take care of you. IT. If you are a turd to your IT department, you might as well go ahead and look for another job next year. Telling you, you better. Your secretaries, they run the school. Secretaries and custodians run the school, not the administrators. Sorry, administrators. Secretaries and custodians run the school. They know everything the administration knows. They have keys to everything, and they know where the administrators are, and if they're really good at what they do, they know what the administrators are thinking before the administrators do it. So take care of those who take care of you. A $20 gift card to the guy that empties your trash can at Christmas goes a long, long way. Man, it goes a long way. You want some good looking floors? Take care of the people who take care of you. A thank you email. That's all it takes. Send your IT folks a thank you email. You know how many times a day they get cussed at and told they're stupid or do their job poorly or what have you? Send them a thank you email, because if you're getting online, they've done work for you. Period. If you have a computer program, they've done work for you. They've cleared the path for you. Take care of those people. Number 5 and number 6 are two more keys to my success as a teacher. Weave your program into the DNA of the school. Not do things for other programs, not do things with other teachers, not go out and do football and start beating your chest. No, weave your program into the DNA means that when people think, man, we're about to do something cool in my history class, they send you an email and you go do it. Send a kid to do it. It doesn't have to be great. It doesn't have to be fantastic. Just love on them. Love on the people. Athletics, obviously. Academics, obviously. Guys, there's no group of people who are underappreciated more than those who work in special ed, especially in a self-contained class. Those guys are doing miracles daily. Show them some love. So if you do that, it really opens up a lot of doors for you, because they're going to start giving you ideas. And yeah, there are going to be times where you're like, oh, this is the worst idea ever. But then there are other times where you're like, man, I really wish I had an idea. Boom, you get an email. There's you an idea. So work your program into the DNA of the school and become a part of the DNA of your community. Now, you may be in a major metropolitan area. You may be in a county or a system that has 200 high schools. Your community is that group of people who trust your school system enough to send the people to your school. Send their kids. Put their kids on a bus. Send them to you. Get them home at the end of the day. That is your community. So if you're in a suburb of a major city, don't try to get into the major city. That's somebody else's community. Get into your community. Because if you're in those areas, yeah, there might be a newspaper that covers the whole city, and your little urban area might only get bad news. How great is it to be able to share good news about your community? So get into your community, become a part of the DNA. You're like, okay, cool, White. That's awesome. How do I get started? First, you got to start with you. You really do. You got to look in the mirror. You got to say, all right, what do I want to become? What do I want my program to become? If I were to stop teaching today, what would they say about me? Early in my radio career, we had a program director, great dude, like amazing. He's one of those guys that just transcends description. And he always lived like it was his last day. He just lived that way. And one day he got on a motorcycle and headed towards the beach and never made it to the beach. His radio station had to continue. But his legacy, I mean, I have his picture in my desk now. I mean, literally, I can open my desk drawer, and there's this picture inside my desk drawer. And he died in 2002. Okay? What is your legacy going to be? You have to determine that. Look in the mirror and determine that. Now that you have that, how do you execute that? You create a mission statement. I literally have a mission statement written. Here it is, and I share it with my students. As your instructional leader for digital media at Morgan County High School, my mission is clear. Prepare you for the next step in your career. The simplicity of my mission is marred by complex tools and techniques that are needed in order for you to be successful in this field. My promise to you is that I will give you the tools needed to build the foundation of a successful career. These tools, paired with constant expectations for growth, will prepare you past those who are competing with you to meet your career goals. Utilizing real, relevant assignments, I will put your works on display to the world by creating and fostering a program that promotes student work over student grades. Deadlines, high expectations, and support are the 3 tools that I will use to help you meet your career goals. That's my mission statement, and I give it to my kids. I read it. It's not a secret. I used to have it posted, but then I quit doing that because I kept wanting to change it every time I saw it. But it's important that your mission statement isn't about you. It's not about you. Education is not about you. It's about your kids. So now that I have my mission statement, step 3 is to make a plan. It must be built on student successes. Must be. Student successes are not Emmys. Student successes are not gold medals. They're not bronze medals. They're not silver medals. Student successes are things that are immeasurable. They are the child who everyone else in the world says they can't read, who stands in front of a teleprompter and rocks a newscast. They're the child that is shy, but can stand in front of a class and deliver a presentation like nobody's business. Those are the successes. All those other things, they're byproducts. And really, they're distractors for a lot of people. They really are a distractor. So once you make your plan, you got to execute it. Find like-minded people. I have a circle of video production friends, and we share successes. We share failures. We kick around ideas. It's all, you just got to find that group of people. If you look around, like next time you're in a conversation with your friends, your video friends, and it's all negative, find new friends. Or if you're around a bunch of teachers and all they talk about are all the awards they won, find new friends. Go and find like-minded people who want to build successful humans. That's our job. Step 5, market your wins. If you have a kid who rocks it on a newscast, take your phone out of your pocket, film them doing the newscast, and share it to your school social media page. If you don't have one for your program, wake up, get one. Share it, market those wins. And those wins don't have to be rocking it on a newscast. It could be just a kid who's out setting up a camera who's actually doing good work. Rising tide raises all ships. So market the wins. Embrace the losses is step 6. Embrace them. Look, man, you're going to fail. I've had some major failures in my career. Embrace them. Take the time to learn from them. And then finally, number 7 on how to get started building Main Street money is stay the course. There are no fast lanes. Main Street's usually a pretty slow line. Okay, in most Georgia towns, it's running right next to a square where the courthouse is, or a shopping district and lots of crosswalks. So it's a slow pace. That's what it is. You're not. I mean, look, I'm super lucky where I am because I ended up at a good spot and I put myself out there and people took it. And 18 months later, I've got a pretty successful program. But that's sheer luck. I'd rather be lucky than good any day. Don't get me wrong, but you can't compare your program to other people. Your situation is completely different. If you're in a high population area, you're going to have 10, 15 schools that you're competing with. I don't have any where I am. So make sure you stay the course. There are no fast lanes. Outlast the competition. So now you know what the keys to my successes are. You now know how to start. Now, how do you know it's working? How do you know that your strides towards Main Street are working? Number 1, students sign up for your classes. Last spring, not this past one, but the one previous, I had 20 students total. 20. In 3 classes, I had 20 total students. I had one class with 2 students, and you may be going, oh man, that sounds wonderful. It was hell. It was awful. Because you can't build momentum with 2 people. You can't do a lot with 2 people. I mean, yeah, you can, but man, it just really is cumbersome trying to push 2 people. So if you start signing up, kids start signing up for your classes, that's a good sign that your stuff's working. Fast forward to looking towards the fall, depending on what the school situation is, all of my classes are full all year. I have 6 full classes. We're on 4x4 semester. So the kids are signing up. Number 2, how you know it's working, your admin, your influencers in your building confide in you when it comes to planning things. When I got into education, that was a tough thing for me to adjust to. I came from a management position where I was a marketing director. I literally had my hands in everything. got into education and I didn't know anything. I was kind of in the dark on everything. Started to build some influence. And now I have some really good strides in that department. I kind of saw the proposed school calendar for this next year before others did. I had a big hand in the planning of graduation. I got to determine what time the ceremonies were because of the sun. I mean, that's step 3. When your admin asks you to help with their plan. So number 2, they confide in you. Number 3, they ask you to help. That's massive. That's huge. When they say, hey, what are your thoughts on this? And when you can go to them, and I did, I went to our administrators and I was like, I just don't know about this, and they were like, oh no, it's going to be fine. And I laid out my, hey, we should, and they said no, and they put, and I have no, I get no pushback when I ask questions because they confided in me. They believe in me and they believe in my ideas. And that's a pretty important way to know that things are working. Number 4, when the community feels welcome in your program, that's new for me. It really is. Like, I just thought I would offer out, hey, Mr. Superintendent, offer up to the sheriff and everybody else that if they need a video message, they can come to my program. I will take care of them. And they took it. And the community, I think, feels welcome in my building, in my program. The mayor, the county manager, the sheriff, superintendent, they all just kind of walk in and go, hey, are you ready to shoot? There's no weirdness. Same thing with chambers of commerce, and there's a whole bevy of people that you could, but when the community feels welcome in your program, when they feel like you're on the same page, that's how you know it's working. Number 5, when communication starts flowing in both directions, when you start getting messages from people in your community and your administration that's direct and really you're a part of the plan, and they're trying to involve you in things and letting you know about things before they happen. That's step 5. Communication flows both directions. It's easy. I spent a long time sending out press releases. Every time we do something cool, press release, I got nothing. But then I started getting stuff this year. I started getting, hey, here's what we're thinking is going to happen with COVID. Hey, here's what we think the governor's going to do. Hey, let's not film that today. Let's film it tomorrow. There's going to be some changes. Communication starts flowing both ways is number 5 on a way that you know that your Main Street money is working. And then number 6, opportunities begin to appear. That's it. I mean, that's the pinnacle. When you start getting phone calls or emails saying, hey, we're with this organization or we're with that organization or we're the mayor, the what have you, and we want your program to be a part of this. That's when you know it's working. I got that phone call not long ago. I'm pretty excited about it. I can't talk about it yet, I don't think. But I'm going to be on the board of a community organization that I've never done before. Kind of nervous about it. It's business leaders and yada, yada, yada. And here I am, just a lowly teacher. But in the conversation with the executive director, she said, you guys have got a lot to offer in terms of influence and in building things that can make an impact on the community. So Main Street money, you got to have it. I mean, influence is more powerful than money because influence moves money. If you're in a situation where your school system is hit hard with the budget cuts. I mean, I don't remember what the number is for Georgia. I think it's $900 million next year have been cut from education. Well, you got a community, you got a tribe out there. If you can find a way to tap in and get them to believe in you as much as you believe in you and your kids, then you're going to go very far in terms of building a program that has influence and that can be self-sustaining. That's the important thing for me, is to have a program that is self-sustaining. So again, make sure you start with number 1, look in the mirror. Who are you? What do you want to be? What do you want your program to be? Create a mission statement, make a plan, execute that plan, market those wins, embrace the losses, and finally stay the course. There's no easy way of doing this. There's not. You may get lucky and tap into the right organization or the right group of people immediately, but that's not going to happen most often. So stay the course, believe in yourself, believe in your program, and just keep fighting the good fight. Eventually you'll win. Eventually you'll be at that spot where you're looking and going, I cannot believe I'm here. Thank you so much for listening to this show of Teaching to the Test Pattern. Again, want to thank my sponsor, Amatrace, AMITRACE.com, for their continued support. And have a great day. And as always, go out and make some awesome.
Teaching to the Test Pattern.